Hey, what's up, guys? Scott here, back once more with another video. So, today I'm really excited to do today's video because we're just a few weeks away from the premiere of Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which is so very exciting. I'm excited for a new Spider-Man movie and to continue the story of the Marvel movies going forward, right? So, anyway, lots happening in this movie. Obviously, we're continuing the story of Peter Parker, Spider-Man. After the events of No Way Home, which left him in a weird place because as far as we know, nobody remembers who Peter Parker is. They may remember Spider-Man, but they do not remember Peter Parker at all. So that's going to be a huge thing heading into Brand New Day, which in universe, that said about 4 or 5 years have passed since No Way Home, which is about how long it's been since that movie came out. So they're kind of keeping with real time there. But anyway, so obviously this movie is continuing the story of Peter Parker, Spider-Man. And in this movie, they're bringing in Bruce Banner, Hulk, Frank Castle, the Punisher, as supporting characters. And also, just confirmed yesterday, actually, really, Yelena Belova will be in this movie too as a supporting character in some capacity. And so that's exciting. So we got 3 major characters having supporting roles in this movie. Confirmed it, we know who they are. So the big mystery, however, is the character that Sadie Sink is playing. And it's been confirmed by, not officially, but it's been reported by multiple sources that she is playing Jean Grey, who has not really been shown in any of the trailers, other than maybe like a shot from behind, or she's wearing a hood, or we haven't really seen a lot of her in the trailers. But she's been heavily promoted being in the movie. So it's pretty much been all but officially confirmed that she's playing Jean Grey, who of course is a very prominent mutant and an X-Men member in the comics. So they're officially bringing a Jean Grey into the MCU in this movie, most likely. So that I thought that might be kind of interesting to discuss some theories I have, or questions like, where did this Jean Grey come from? So I've got a few couple of thoughts. So possibility number 1. There's two distinct possibilities. One is that this Jean Grey is indeed from Earth 616, which is the main Earth where all the Marvel movies take place, other than the Fantastic Four, which took place on Earth 828. But most of the main Marvel movies have taken place on Earth 616. That is the main MCU universe. So now that they've introduced the Fantastic Four on another Earth, now we're dealing with the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. But that's the whole point, because this is the multiverse saga. So anyway, so there is a possibility that this Jean Grey is indeed from Earth 616, but her mutant powers didn't start manifesting until very recently in her life. Like she may not have grown up with these powers. They may have manifested, as a teenager, So she may not have had these powers for very long. So currently in the canon on 616, there is no X-Men. There is no X-Men team known to the public. As far as we know, there's no Charles Xavier, no Eric Lynch or Magneto. So now, that being said, so there is no X-Men on Earth 616 at this time. But we do know that mutants exist on Earth 616 because it's been confirmed both Namor and Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, are both mutants. So Namor gets his mutation, his mutant gene came from when his mother was pregnant with him. She ate a supernatural plant or something. I think it was like a vibranium herb, that basically to allow her to breathe underwater, so she could live underwater. And because she ate that herb, he was born with a mutation where he ages way slower than normal humans, because he was around in the 1500s. He was born in the 1500s, so, and he looks like a very young man still in modern day, so he ages very slow. He can fly with the wings on his ankles, and he has superhuman strength and durability. So all those powers came from a mutation when he was born, because his mother ingested this supernatural plant, and that transferred to him when he was born as a mutation. Kamala Khan, her mutation came because her ancestry, her ancestry, like, she comes from part of her ancestry is she comes from a dimension called the Noor dimension, it's explained in her show, which I'm glad I rewatched recently. Part of her ancestors came from what's called the Noor dimension, which is a dimension, that another dimension besides Earth. It doesn't really explain, like, if they're aliens or just they call them jinn. They said that people on Earth would call them jinn. That'd be the closest thing. So, but they're beings from another dimension and not from Earth originally, but they look human, still. But she's part jinn or part Noor, and because of that, she has a mutant gene that activated when she got her bangles in her show, and so her powers come from her being a mutant with that mutant. So that's two characters we know of on Earth 616 that have some form of the mutant gene. So in the case of Jean Grey, so it's possible she was born with these powers and grew up with them and has just been in hiding this whole time, or her mutant gene may not have triggered till later. And there's two big theories about what's triggered might trigger a widespread epidemic or whatever I'm trying to say of the mutant gene activating in all these people. So the main theories are that Thanos' snap either created the mutant gene in the population or awakened the mutant gene in a lot of the population. Like, it was always there, but it was dormant until the snap. So the snap is a big theory going around that what might trigger a widespread awakening. That's a good word. A widespread awakening of the mutant gene in the population. Or another big theory is in the movie The Eternals, when the celestial Tiamat is coming out of the ocean and it spread, and the Eternals stop it, but but before, now they stop it from emerging completely, but Tiamat, when he's coming out of the ocean, it spreads a lot of eternal or celestial material or DNA over the whole Earth. So the celestial DNA spreading over the Earth might have triggered the mutant gene coming into the population as well. So, and this makes sense because we found out in Captain America: Brave New World that Tiamat, who's currently sticking out of the ocean, that is where adamantium comes from on 616. That's where which of course is most famous for being the material that Wolverine's exoskeleton gets made up of when he gets infused with it, right? So they're planting seeds there for sure. So they're setting up all this stuff with mutants and adamantium for the X-Men coming into the Marvel movies finally, in the main universe. So, and I said all that to say that it is possible that this gene is from 616, but her mutant powers may not have awakened until now due to all these recent events, right? So, or the second thing is it's possible that she's from the multiverse, and somehow she got sent to 616 or trapped on 616 or something, because we know the X-Men that we're getting in Doomsday are from another Earth, where the X-Men do exist on that Earth as a team and everything. So, so it's possible that she's just from another universe and somehow ended up on 616. So, but that's a pretty simple theory. So it's going to be interesting to see if they, which hopefully they will at least give hints to her, where she comes from, her background in the Spider-Man movie. So I'm very interested to see. So yeah, I'm excited for Spider-Man: Brand New Day. The trailers have looked great. It looks like a good story with a lot of cool supporting characters. So I'm excited to see it in just a few weeks. So, and of course, I'll review it, of course. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching it. Peace out.